And welcome to Unapologetic Geek Out, the UGO podcast. I am, of course, Nick, your merc with a mic, and here's my fellow unapologist,
Travis.
Oh my goodness, Travis, it is our Animini episode.
That's your Animini episode.
I would say, yeah, I guess it's mine, since you were unable to attend, which is such a bummer.
That sounds like what you were complaining about, not so much.
I would never complain about a convention we were going to. How dare you? Not one we were recording.
Actually, I'm pretty sure we've done that plenty while we were recording, too.
I don't... Look, I had fun while I was there, for sure. Mm-hmm. It was just tough because running a convention coverage by myself is hard, and I had a lot of technical issues with some of the panels that we were running. I was a little ambitious with some of the stuff. I wanted to try and do a live Netflix and Kill that didn't work, and caused our Netflix and Kill to be late for this week, so that was annoying. I mean, I should have learned my lesson. I did bring a lot of our own equipment to run stuff with, but they had an HDMI cable for me I had to run and get it from ConOps or tech stuff from the first night, and then I had some sort of adapter for the rest of the con, and then when we did get visuals up, it was yellow for whatever reason, so it was kind of just real, like, it was not great. I had a rough time with that, but I did manage to get a bunch of great interviews, which you will hear later, Woohoo. Including with a lot of great con-goers, including some guests that were there, including Linkara. We got him again. He was fun to talk to. Viga, his lovely girlfriend, I think now wife. Actually,
yeah, I was about to say I thought it was wife.
They actually got married recently. I'm pretty sure. I should correct myself. And I even got a porn store or two, believe it or not.
A what? A porn store? You got a whole porn store. A porn star.
Well, I shouldn't say that. It's an adult cosplay film company that I ran into, which was pretty neat. You'll hear the owner of that later, which was their own model-owned and model-run cosplay adult film company.
Interesting.
Which was like, yeah, it was very interesting. I was like, huh. And it's like, yeah, would you like to take a picture with us? Of course, with us too. Like, I would love that. Tops on or tops off. I don't know why they wanted me to take my top off, but it was a weird thing. I mean, I didn't want to bring it up at the time, but I felt a little sexually harassed. Unless they they might have meant them. It's 50-50. They could have meant either one.
Nope, they meant them.
Okay, so yeah, what else happened? Oh, that didn't go so great. Our Netflix and Kill panel for Full Metal Alchemist, that was the one that was pretty much a disaster. We didn't get to record with. Well, first it was you who couldn't hear, or we couldn't hear you,
right? And
then our audio flicked around when we had Justin on, and then it just cut out completely. The audio kept switching from one input to another when we were plugging stuff in, and then of course I didn't have sound for the audio clips. I had a bunch of riffs based off of audio clips from the original series because I was like, oh, since it'll be live and we'll have people watching, I can throw up video clips, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any audio from those clips at all, and I was like, God damn it. What even is this? Would Bento went a little bit better.
That's good,
but still not great. Yeah. Because I didn't have the time to have all the clips for that one necessary and ready. Let's see, what else did we do? Pokemon script reads was okay, but the turnout was a little bit lower. So I had just four or five people picking in between voices and stuff. But that still, at least it ran pretty okay. I still didn't have any.
It functionally worked.
Yeah, well, I had to have video up there for what the so people could pick impressions and stuff. But that one was it was still yellow, and like that one was like, okay, well, I guess it's not too bad because it's not so visually.
It's just a list, so whatever.
Mm-hmm. The trivia contest probably went the best. It had the best turnout, like it always does.
Yeah.
But even that one, it's like, okay, well, fuck the video thing, I guess. And then for some reason, I didn't have my laptop cable there too, so my computer was about to die. I had a last minute send myself the trivia list via Google Drive.
I feel like you just have that memorized
and throw it to my phone. And I was legitimately thinking of like, well, maybe I can just do it from memory of just some of the questions or whatnot.
You could. You don't even write down the answers. You just have like vague like metaphors of questions.
So I had I don't know. I just have like a list that reminds me of the questions to ask because
like it's not even that. You don't even have a written down trivia contest. You have like a skeleton of a trivia contest written down.
Yeah. Well, I like to ask some questions backwards and forwards depending on how difficult I want them to be.
I understand that.
Because I like I like questions like the Ghostbusters one, or like what porn star was in Ghostbusters, because like that's one that like sounds hard, but you can just randomly guess it and win because like as long as you guess the most famous porn star you probably know, and it's like Ron Jeremy, you're like, oh yeah, that's it. Or the Evangelion Sigmund Freud one. Mm-hmm. But if I really want to make it hard or whatever, I'll like flip it around,
right?
And
be like the words.
And I'll like, okay, well, what anime uses the system or whatever they're invested by Sigmund Freud or whatever, and then I'll switch it around like that just to keep it fresh or to make it more difficult for anyone who might be winning to keep the game interesting.
Right.
Although in this one, the Wall basically had it from the beginning, like the team, the Wall. I think what was it? I even gave a prize for the best name this time around, which was Otakumus Prime, which was pretty good. But the Wall had some late additions with a Waldo, Where's Waldo cosplayer and a Rock Lee cosplayer who came in and answered a bunch of the questions. Plus, the Wall had like 7 or 8 players by the time that they were done because. People, I was like, oh, if you just came in, just join a team or whatever.
Didn't have me to corral them in there, huh?
Well, I didn't have. It went okay because I just grabbed everybody and had them, use the honor system. Like, okay, teams of like 4 or 5, but like whatever, just grab teams. And we had a team of androids right in the front, some androids cosplayers, Android 18, 17. And I was like, all right, I'll let you play, but I swear to God, if I see you using any processes or anything to grab the answers, I'm gonna be real pissed. And God, and then they had a non-cosplayer on their team. It was like, I forget what the question they were asked. It was like, hey, is it okay if we start the game or whatever without the rest of our team here and they come in and join us? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. My only request is that you just don't teach your robot sentience halfway through and they don't learn humanity from you. Because I swear to God, if we have another one of these trivia contests that starts, ends in an open robotic rebellion, I'm going to be really mad. It's like 3 times already.
Come on, that doesn't happen that often. Right.
But the highlight of the show was a woman on the gold team, which the gold team ended up with, like, I think -1 points. Which
they lost points?
Well, at a certain point, I was just fucking with them because they were doing horribly.
Wow.
They were doing so bad. And there was this one girl who I even asked her, like, what's your name, ma'am, so I could better make fun of her. And she was like, I'm a person, and I'm like, okay, good for you, but I'm still gonna make fun of you. So like I was calling her a person the entire time, and I loved her like first question, which was sing me the Steven Universe theme song, and she was like, oh, okay, well I know it, I know the part where it's like garnet, amethyst, and pearl, and Steven, I know that part. And I'm like, ma'am, are you telling me that you know the characters of the show, or do you know any of the actual song? Like, no, but like, do do I get like, maybe half a point or whatever? I'm like, no, you do not. You do not at all. In fact, I'm going to take away a point from you.
Nice.
Because we're doing that now.
Because that's how we roll.
And then I forget later, it was the Rockley and Waldo cosplayers. They were kicking ass. I was talking with them a little bit. And I was like, man, these guys are the MVPs of the game. These guys have basically won it all for the wall already. And they're like, well, we were waiting for another guest panel, but they're really late, so we wandered in here. And I'm like, oh, I'm so honored to be your second choice.
I mean, considering that most of the people go here to see some of the guests, that's not that bad.
It's like prom all over again. And then that got into a whole discussion of like, okay, who here went to prom or whatever. And then I love this because like everyone else like raises their hand or doesn't raise their hand, and then a person from the gold team does the whole so thing with her hand, and I'm like,
it's a binary question.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fucking regret this, but. A person, what do you mean you maybe sort of went to prom? And then she tells the story of how she didn't get, like, she bought tickets for prom but wasn't able to get in and danced outside the fucking high school. And I'm like, that is the saddest story I've ever heard. You get a pity point and a prize. Because that's also how we roll.
So she ended up with a net gain of half a point?
Yeah, I forget whatever they ended up with. It didn't matter. The wall won by so much, I started, like, not keeping track after a while. Also, the wall had a guy on there that got the Batman RIP weapons grade crystal meth question immediately.
No one ever gets that
No one ever gets that question. I think it was the first time anyone got it immediately, of just like, and he was like, oh yeah, weapons grade crystal meth. Like who doesn't know that?
It was just a regular thing for him.
Like, it was just a regular thing for him, and I was like, holy shit. So that was...
So we've, like, discussed multiple times, we're like, should we take that question out? It's funny and all, but it just always confuses people.
Well, I always like to give the, full points for, like, I've made it so, like, okay, if you get it right on the first time, since it's so obscure, you get 3 points. But if you get it, like, if you just get the meth part of it, because you could always guess that part. Like, that's usually what I do with it. So that was great. Let's see, I met Korra Nasami cosplayer at a Women Who Love Women panel. And that was interesting. I'm trying to remember any of the other panels I ended up missing a lot of stuff that was on the Friday. Just because by the time I got there, I wanted to take a nap.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that whole like 4.5 hours drive just sucks.
It's a fun drive, isn't it?
Because I'm not. Well, I mean, it eats up time or whatever too. Because I need, like, usually I'd edit on the way there and back for stuff, and it's just a time sink that sucks. And we're gonna have to do it again later for in July, I think, as well, for Convergence. So let's see. I did want to mention, before we get into the interview and other coverage, I'm trying to decide if we put the Pokemon script read, some of that audio on this one, or if we wait for another full episode to throw that on there too, because I did record a lot of audio. But we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I did want to mention a couple things that happened in the news this week. One being Rosanne getting canceled.
Oh.
So that was... I remember we had the story on that one, and so that was interesting. For those of you who don't know, I mean, like, if you were under a rock, or you didn't, or maybe you don't have, like, you only use the internet for this podcast or something. I don't know how you would not know. But,
I mean, flattering if that's the case.
But yeah, Rosanne made I guess the news called a racially charged tweet, which also made me mad. I was like, it's a racist tweet, guys. You can say racist.
No,
like,
it's not even just a racist tweet. It was like a racist tirade.
I mean, the first tweet was the big thing, but then she didn't make it any better with a lot of the other shit she said afterwards.
Yeah,
but
or before.
But the big one was the one that caused all the trouble was the I forget what the word for word it said, but it was Muslim Brotherhood plus Planet of the Apes equals VJ, and VJ was short for what was it? Valerie Valerie Jenkins.
I forget her actual name, but yeah, but it was predominantly.
It was a black woman that was the part of Obama's press team. I think. I don't remember. I'm not exactly familiar with Obama's press team like I am familiar with Trump's.
Right. There's a reason for that.
But yeah, she was part of the Obama White House team, as far as I know, and so yeah, that was really racist. Also, really, it's like she said, like, I am so sorry for my stupid, horrible joke. I can't believe I messed up this. I messed this up for all the people that were working at Rosanne, all the wonderful writers who are liberal, and all that stuff. Like she seemed actually like she really didn't know what was going on, and the only thing that because they did, like, ABC came back right after that tweet and was like, okay, yeah, you're done. You're canceled. We can't do this anymore. Which is probably good for them. It was like the only thing they could have done.
Yeah, I mean, normally if something like that happens, I would immediately give kudos, but it's the fact that she's been like a racist cunt for quite a while now.
Well, I mean, ABC, I don't know why they put her, like, put the show on to begin with. I mean, I get, like, they wanted to go for the ratings, which it turns out they were correct, because they got initially really high ratings. And, I mean, they went down some a little bit, but it was still a really, really popular show.
Yeah.
So, like, they wanted to get the audience, and then everyone else they were working with was good. Like, the Roseanne was the only problem child out of that whole crew, it seemed like. So I figured, I guess they must have thought, like, well, maybe we can get away with it under the radar if we sit down with her and have, like, this talk, and maybe even put in her contract if she fucks this up with some stupid tweet that she puts out. Because they canceled her shit quick.
Yeah,
like it was
that's a pretty immediate reaction.
It seemed like there was some sort of plan in place in case this exact thing happened.
Giant red button in case of Roseanne.
Because they renewed the show for like 2 more seasons, I think, or 22 episodes or something, and it was like, and they were like, nope, this is only gonna get worse for us. Just cancel it all right now.
Just destroy it, burn it to the ground,
and. Yeah, and that, like, she called it, like, this stupid joke that she made while she was on Ambient or something, and then Ambient tweeted back, was like, while there are many symptoms of medications such as Ambient, racism is not one of them. And it's so...
That's a glorious clapback.
And it's like, and Ambient's like, why are you trying to drag us down with this?
Yeah, this is not us.
Like, what the fuck? We didn't have anything to do with this. We didn't grab your phone from you and put racist shit in there. That is not what we did. Like,
that's autocorrect. It's there for a reason.
So yeah. Also, just structurally, it's a bad joke. Like, what do you mean?
It's not a joke. It's
like it's this plus this equals this person that I'm going to put the initials in. I'm like, wow. Structurally, the joke is a math problem. That's just lame. Like, I mean, even if we put the massive racism of comparing a black person to an ape, or a whole planet of apes, behind, if we leave that out, your joke is awful. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, even you need to throw, like, even the better version of that joke, especially since you have enough characters on Twitter already. Valerie Jenkins is like if the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes had a baby. Like, that's even structurally a better version of the joke, because that's how you do two things meet and have a baby joke. Yeah. That's like that. Like, a math equation isn't funny. It's boring.
I love how we're not only calling her out for her racism, but also she's a bad joke teller.
Well, the fact is that yeah, like it's just, it pisses me off in the fact that she even called it a dumb joke, and I feel like it's only partially a joke because she just threw it down as like, well, it's just another one of her stupid racist statements rather than even a joke. And people always try and pass it off of like, well, I was just being edgy and humorous, and it's like, well, you barely put any effort into that joke.
That's the edgy part.
And yeah, so I'm like, well, one, you're lazy as well as racist, and I mean, I feel like we should also recognize her laziness and bad joke telling as well.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like, if you don't know that it's not cool to compare a black person to a monkey or ape of any kind, I don't know what it is for you. And ABC even knew that, like, yeah, she's too far gone. We're not gonna salvage any of this. So fuck that.
Because, she wasn't too far gone when she started going for Pizzagate and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I can only assume that I don't know what they thought of, like, maybe she wouldn't do that again. Or, like I said, I would have made her sign an unbelievably big contract of, like, not only will you, we won't have to pay you any kind of back pay or anything like that if you fuck this up for us, but, like, maybe there was even, like, I want to see what the contract was like, because ABC, it's ridiculous that they would not have seen this coming, that this was not going to happen at least one time.
I mean, that's not even just ABC, too. Like, anybody who can stream her old show even has been like, well, nope, we're taking that off.
Yeah, also, she deleted the tweet, which is, like...
Yeah, that's
and she keeps
the Trump way of doing things.
She keeps
like,
doing
well, it doesn't
that, too.
exist anymore. We'll forget about it, right?
Bitch, it's the internet. Like,
doesn't matter if you delete it. Everyone knows it's there.
We got that shit. It's over. Like, once it's up there and people get the chance to screen cap it, your shit is done.
Like, I'm pretty sure there are people that just go around Twitter just screenshotting tweets, just in case.
Wanda Sykes, was gonna quit, except for that they canceled the show too fast. And I do love that Rosanne, like, I think, tweeted back at her, like, oh, shit, you threw me, like, cause, like, she was like, that shit was abhorrent and I'm no longer gonna be part. She's a producer on the show, I guess. And it's like, and Rosanne was like, come on, man, you threw me under the bus. And it's like, well, yeah, I totally did that. But also, you were somehow driving the bus. Like,
you were both driving and underneath the bus. It's very impressive.
Look, I don't know how you did it, but all I was trying to do was survive. So, also, yeah, that, I don't understand how she doesn't get that, like, because her other tweet was that, hey, this was totally my fault. Don't blame anyone on the show. That was one of her first original tweets. I'm so sorry. I fucked everybody's life up for this one tweet. And then she tweets back and wanted, like, how dare you throw me under the bus? And then it's a tweet of, like, I understand how POTUS feels now. No loyalty or whatever. And I'm like, okay, guys, she legit has a problem. Like, I think she's already been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, if I'm remembering correctly, and she takes medication for it. So it just from her tweeting, you can see it that, like, okay, she has unbelievable mood swings from 1 hour to the next.
Yeah.
So, like, anyone who's part of Roseanne's family or anything like that, she needs some serious help. And you guys need to get her, like, actual serious mental health. Like, there's really is something wrong with her. Which is, I mean, I want to say that, like, it's sad that, like, all these people had, now had jobs and were probably even like, oh man, we just got picked up for 22 more episodes. Time to buy that condo I always wanted. Nope. Not so fast, Jerry. I don't know, I always think some sort of producer that's about to oversell him stuff his name is Jerry. Sorry, any Jerrys out there. But yeah, it's probably a good thing that she doesn't have a big of a platform or, like, anymore.
Just not a spotlight.
Mm-hmm. And now Hulu and Netflix and them are pulling their support for the old reruns of the show, which is also like, well, I mean, the old show was pretty progressive, so that actually kind of sucks, and a lot of people really like the old show. But I think Netflix and some of and Hulu and them don't want to be seen supporting her monetarily in any way or anything that can come back to them.
Yeah,
she's fucked up so bad that she's basically salted the earth at this point. I don't know, like, if she's gonna get a job anywhere, significant anymore as far as.
Oh, she'll be our next press secretary. Don't worry.
Well, I was going to say either that or she could always get a job as some sort of, like, host of, some other, either like some other talk show or
just go on Fox and Friends.
Or I was going to even say, like, yeah, maybe even like something like that or maybe even a radio show or something like that, like a shock jock. Or her own podcast, heaven forbid. That seems what, like, people are doing nowadays.
Well, anyone can do it.
So yeah, that was an interesting time to be sure.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we want to? Do you have anything in the news this week that you wanted to cover
That's
before you?
kind of the biggest thing. The only other thing I've really seen of the news is just the whispers of E3 to come.
Mm-hmm. I heard this great thing about the new Spawn movie, which was pretty funny.
Oh,
was
God,
that they
I forgot
have
that was a thing coming out.
they have Jamie Foxx, I guess, as the as Spawn. Like that's the new big get that they have.
Okay.
And so that was pretty cool. Only the fact that it's going to be made by Blumhouse, so it's going to be like, I was just thinking like, oh, I thought you were going to need a huge budget to pull Spawn off, but maybe you're going to do a whole.
It's going to be like $1 million.
It's, I mean, I think their most expensive movie was like $10 million. So.
Spawn is just going to be a latex costume. That's it.
Yeah, it's so I just thought like, oh man, how is that gonna work?
It's actually gonna look the exact same as the previous Spawn film.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for recording the interviews with us at Animinneapolis. I do want to mention, if you want to check out any of our other previous convention coverage, you can go back and check our back catalog of our shows that had us covering ASIN 2018, as well as ASIN's Past. That was a pretty recent one. You can always check out our Daisho Con or Anime Milwaukee or any other our convention coverage. They're real fun, as well as any back catalog of our regular episodes on the iTunes channel. As well, if you like this episode and you want to help out the podcast in any way, you can do that non-monetarily by just giving us a review on iTunes. 5-star reviews get read here on the show, word for word. That is my guarantee. So if you have anything you'd like to promote or something you'd like me to say, you can always do that. We have our new Patreon page if you'd like to support us monetarily in any way like that. We have rewards for our patrons. Such as Movie Pass or Fails. We're going to do one for Solo pretty quick here, I think. And we have our movie commentaries for our Netflix and Kill shows. Any Netflix and Kill show that we do, we're going to be doing a commentary for it, except for our Full Metal Alchemist one, because we didn't have a time to do that because of our the fuck up with our thing. But with or you can always just, follow us on any of our social media pages, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram or Twitter at UGO Podcast, or any of our other stuff, or just you want to just say hi to us, you can always email us at unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com. With that, we're going to cut right to our convention coverage. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside.
Anyway, we are going to start off with the first scene here. Now, I'm going to need you to play, let's see, what should you play? You're going to play Ash's mom. How's about that? Okay? I'm sorry I typecast you as the woman. I didn't mean to. But you just struck me as a Delilah, which apparently is her name. No, Delia. Delia? Does anyone know how to pronounce Ash's mom's name? Delia. Okay. So, are you going to read it straight, or do you want to read with a fun voice? Do you have an impression?
I can try. I've never done it in front of people before.
Mm-hmm. A little kid? Okay. So you want to play as Ash's mom as a little kid? That's weird. I love it. I'm in it. I'm into it. Okay, so we start off here. Game Boy screen flickers on. A Nidorino and a Gengar are battling each other. Soon it turns into a super cool action battle between the two of them. Like, holy crap, it's awesome. Pan outside to the Coliseum, to a crowd cheering. They then back to the Pokemon beating each other up. And we'll read this next one as an announcer voice. And I will, just do a 1940s announcer. So do we have a request for Ash Ketchum in this scene? He's the only one left.
Okay, I should say, you know what? I'm going to read Ash Ketchum as Morty from Rick and Morty. And then there is one Professor Oak line. What do you want me to do as Professor Oak? Like, just throw something out there. Hank Hill? Okay, so Hank Hill is Professor Oak. Okay, so here we go. And Nidorino begins the battle with a horn attack. Oh, but Gengar bounces right back, and there it is, the hypnosis power of Gengar. This could be the end of Nidorino. Wait! The trainer has recalled Nidorino. Which Pokemon will he use now? Oh no, it's Onix! Now this giant Pokemon's on the attack. Oh, but Gengar jumps aside. Gengar is moving beautifully today. Hey, yes, I'm Ash. Ash Ketchum is a boy from Paddletown. Now that I'm 10, I can get my Pokemon license. 10-year-olds can get a beginner Pokemon from Professor Oak, the town's Pokemon expert. I will journey to gain the wisdom of Pokemon training, and hereby declare to the Pokemon of the world, I will be your master, your Pokemon master. That's what I'll...
Ash, get to bed. It's 10 o'clock and you should be asleep.
Mom, you sound weird. Like, your voice is some. You know what? Never mind. But tomorrow I begin my Pokemon journey. I can't sleep.
Well, if you can't sleep, you should at least get ready for tomorrow. Here, watch this.
Good evening, Pallet. Tomorrow's the big day for the newest class of Pokemon students. I'd like to introduce you to Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Each one is available for new trainers. Which one shall you choose?
Hey, go to bed when this is done.
Oh, all right, I'm going.
And change into your pajamas, okay?
Professor Oak continues to help develop their special powers, like the special powers of cool, energy-efficient propane. I'm going. You can see I'm going. All right. And you know what? End scene. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Everyone, give her a round of applause, please. Awesome. What was her name again? Amanda. That was amazing. Great little kid. This is Nick with the UGO podcast. I'm here at Animini. Yes, I am still here. I'm so tired. But, you know, I whispered. Oh, a song was whispered in my ear, giving me revitalized energy. I heard the music of anime and just enthusiasm. And who was I listening to? Why I was listening to...
Kid-Yuki and the Otaku.
Mm-hmm. Great. Can we get some names here? You said your name was?
So I'm Kid-Yuki, and this is Deja.
I'm Deja. Hi, everyone.
Kid-Yuki and Deja. I love it. I also love the name in the Otakus. So you are a band that specializes in acoustic covers of anime. I see video game tunes and some other stuff I see as well. Very interesting. How'd you guys get started doing this?
Well, first to clarify, we have a few facets to the name Kid-Yuki and Kid-Yuki and the Otakus. Mm-hmm. So it's started out as a YouTube project of mine doing anime and video game covers, doing full band, bass, drums, guitar, all that stuff. It turned into an acoustic band, and we also have a full live band, 6-piece, that we play sometimes. We're based out of the Chicago area, so we weren't able to get the whole band up to Minneapolis for this weekend. It's just me and Deja. But here we are the acoustic outfit. As far as how we started, I mean, for me, this probably works for just about everyone, but I've always loved music, and I've always loved anime, and just one day I realized if I put both these together, people enjoy it, and I can just have a whole lot of fun, and that's kind of how it took off.
I've always loved ice cream, and I always loved sex, so I combined them together, and now I have diabetes. But obviously this worked way better for you. Also, I have a sex addiction, but whatever. It's not sometimes it works for people. How about you, Deja? How'd you get started?
Well, before joining Kid-Yuki, I was in my own band, in high school and everything like that. So what ended up happening was our bassist Andre hit me up on Facebook and was like, "Hey, do you want to be part of this anime cover band?" And I was like, "Of course, yeah." And originally, I think I was only supposed to be for just the 2 movie songs, just a feature. But then I was like, I really like doing this, and I've been with the band ever since.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. Andre was friends with Deja. He said, "Hey, I have this friend who loves to sing Ruby stuff. Do you want to have her sing for a couple things?" And they were kind of duet songs anyway, so we had her join because we have another singer, Amaya, who was our primary female vocalist at the time. And yeah, Deja jumped in for a couple songs, and I mean, once you hear her, like the power in her voice is kind of. You can't deny it. You can't avoid it. You just can't help but be blown away. So it was just kind of there's no going back at that point.
No going back. I always love that because it's always, we knew each other or a friend or something. I don't know why I keep asking that question. I guess it's because I hope that one time someone's just going to say, we found this random homeless man on the street and invited him to play for food and now we can't get rid of him. But maybe one day. So obviously you've been playing some requests here at the booth. Did you guys have like a concert or a panel that you were doing?
Yeah, we had one acoustic show that was Saturday night, 8:30. We usually do a few events when we do these things. We'll do, again, if we have the full band, we'll do a full band show, usually in the main events room. Then we do the acoustic show, which is all requests. Like you said, we have a list of over 100 anime and video game songs and songs from other nerdy things like Steven Universe and stuff like that. And then some, we also do like a Quiplash thing, 18 plus, kind of fun game. And we just had a Q&A earlier today, which kind of devolved into just playing more music because that's what we do by default.
Sure. So that sounds great. So for requests, what would you say has been your most popular request for this convention specifically?
I would say probably Head Shala.
Oh yeah, the Dragon Ball Z opening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Popular one. Some
Is it
Ruby stuff. So.
Is it because of how many people are asking because of the actual show, and how many people you think are asking because of the Dragon Ball Z abridged?
That's a very. I mean, I feel like I mostly know that song because of Dragon Ball Z abridged.
I've heard it on Dragon Ball Z before, but the only reason I have the song stuck in my head now is because of the opening for abridged.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe it's just the reinforcement.
Yeah, and along with that, there's some of the newer stuff. I mean, a lot of My Hero Academia, requests because there are tons of cosplayers and people are super into that anime right now.
Yeah, I really would like to just a request of like, okay, I'm going to go work out. Could you guys just play the Attack on Titan theme so I can pretend that Titans are chasing me on the? I figured it would have been.
Yeah, inspire you, pump a little adrenaline out. Yeah.
So that's great. Obviously, you're kind of here at the booth running it, so you can't really go out and see so much of the other con. But if anything come across any fun fan interactions or maybe cool cosplays that you've seen here at the booth? Yes, you seem contemplative.
Yeah. I'd have to go with the Tokayami cosplayer we saw.
Oh yeah.
Because he had like a little puppet of shadow from the series, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cute. I need to think on that one.
Well, while he's thinking, I did want to know exactly. So, with your YouTube channel and stuff, do you don't run into any trouble with via copyright or anything like that if you play these songs or?
Not yet. It seems like usually, unless you're just like straight up posting like the actual original song, the most you'll get is like a little, hey, like you are doing some copyright stuff, we might take some of your ad revenue, which like sucks, but no one makes money off of ad revenue on YouTube anymore anyway, so it's like whatever. So yeah, they don't seem to really bother me, and I also like try my best not to go out of my way to make money like selling the songs. Like I don't have the rights to the songs right now, so I don't sell them on iTunes or anything like that. And we have CDs, but we just give them away. We don't actually sell the CDs because I don't want to get in any kind of legal trouble like that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I totally get that. Well, that is interesting. So, do you guys have any other future cons that you're planning on attending so that people can come check you out if they're in the area?
When will this be posted?
This will be this next Saturday.
Oh, okay. It'll be this. Okay. I'm going to say a thing, and then I might have to tell you later if I have to cut it out.
Okay.
So Saturday will be too late. So because the next convention we have coming up is Colossal Con, which
that is next weekend.
Ohio. So that's next weekend. So it'll already be happening. But maybe it'll inspire some people in the Ohio area to like, oh, I guess.
I wasn't going to go, but like Saturday morning, what?
Right? Yeah. I guess I better get down there. So we will be playing. We'll be playing at Anime Expo. Our first time ever at Anime Expo in LA.
Awesome.
So that convention is 4 days long. It starts on Thursday, kind of even Wednesday night, and we will be playing Thursday. And that's the thing that I don't know if it will be announced by then. The contract is signed, so I can legally say this, but I just didn't want to
announce it early
until they made the announcement.
Sure.
And partially because the other thing is we will be playing at Anime Midwest in Chicago the rest of that weekend. So we're flying out to play in LA on Thursday, flying back, and then playing in Chicago the rest of the weekend.
Wow!
And that will be the full band for both of those. And we got a whole bunch of new music, which is going to be awesome. We got some great stuff lined up, so we're super excited for that.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see you there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for taking time to interview with me. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting both of you. Would you like to tell people where they can find you, your YouTube channel, your social media, any of that good stuff?
Okay.
Yes.
Everything is KidYuki1, KIDYUKI number 1, so KIDYUKI1. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, we do Twitch, we do live streams every other week. I think that's basically. I have a SoundCloud too. Any videos that I put up, I have MP3 recordings available for download on SoundCloud, and also I have Google Drive links. So again, everything is KidYuki1.
Okay. Anything for Deja or anything social media or whatever? Yes.
No, not really.
No.
You can just find me via Kid Yuki's page, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a private Facebook, but obviously it's private. So,
Sure.
She's got some projects on the way. She wants to start doing some videos and stuff, but not quite yet.
Not ready.
Nothing to speak of.
Still in the cooker. Okay,
Yes.
You don't want to. Yeah, you want to let that simmer. I got you. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for being with me. Have a great day and a great rest of your con.
Sounds good.
All right, so for this next scene, Ash is going to be sleeping, so I got Ash here. I'll just do him again. I do need cheerleaders. I need some cheerleaders. Gary has some cheerleaders that he needs. Anyone want to just do a cheerleading part? It's real easy. Yes? Okay, what's your name? Eric, come on up here and be a cheerleader, Eric. Okay. So, do you have an impression, or do you want to just read it straight, or?
I have my, preppy girl voice.
Preppy girl voice?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we talking like Callie from the Valley voice, or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so here, you can take that. I can't seem to take it out one-handed. That didn't sound right. Don't take that out of context. It's not like I'm recording any of this. Okay, so that leaves you as the cheerleaders. We need someone for Gary and Ash. Who would you like to hear as Gary and Ash in this scene where they first confront one another? Any suggestions? Yep. I'm sorry, what's that? Kirk and Khan? I can't really do a Ricardo Montalban. So maybe I can do Kirk. Which one you want for Kirk? Ash? Ash is Kirk. Let's see. And thou I spit at thee, and I can't really come up with an impression on the spot. So who's for Gary? Who would like for Gary here? What's that? The Monarch for Gary. That sounds right. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And then we're going to read up until, I guess, we get to Professor Oak. Okay. Because then we'll switch it up. Because that's all the things here. So your parts are cheerleaders here. Yep. You don't have very complex lines. So it's all going to be in the enthusiasm for your part. So you got to really sell it. Okay, so Ash is asleep. All right. Raising Bulbasaur, that'd be pretty simple. It's perfect for beginners. I choose you, Bulbasaur. There's Squirtle. I choose you, Squirtle. Choose it or lose it. Ah. It just says A-H-H here. I never really know how to read that. A Dodorito call wakes our friend Ash. He has overslept. Oh, hold on, Charmander. Those in the know say that's the best way to go. I choose you, Charmander. What? Oh no, what time is it? Oh no. Why is everything yellow? Oh no, Trump, did you do the golden shower thing again? I knew I shouldn't have added Trump on here. It was a mistake to begin with. Wow, okay, so, I guess our screen is just yellow now. Deal with that, as it will. Okay. Where was I here? Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, anyone is fine. Just please save one for me. A crowd has gathered to see Gary off in front of Oak's place. Ash is running to Professor Oak's lab to get his first Pokemon after having overslept.
Gary, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Gary.
Well, hey there, you young things. I'm Ash Shatner Ketchum. What? He's a horn dog. Like, don't we're gonna think that joke doesn't play. Anyway, Ash cuts through, knocks into Gary. Or no, knocks into the cheerleaders, actually. Excuse me, and my forwardness.
Hey.
Ash crashes into Gary and falls down. Oh, I'm falling down. Okay. You'd be laughing, Eric. All right. Okay, who was Gary again? Monarch, that's right. Hey, watch where you're going. He recognizes Ash. Well, you must be Ash Ketchum. Better late than never, I guess. At least you can have the chance to meet me, the mighty monarch. I mean, Gary. Ash gets up. Gary. I don't know how to do a shadow with one word. Like, there's no pause to put in it. Mr. Gary to you. Mr. Gary? Gary's really conceited. Mr. Gary to you. Show some respect. Well, Ash, you snooze, you lose. And you're way behind right from the start. I got a Pokemon, and you don't. You got your first Pokemon. That's right, loser. It's right inside this Pokeball. Takes out his Pokeball and begins spinning it cool style like Gary does. Spectators cheer and the cheerleaders go,
Let's go, Gary! Let's go! Yeah!
Gary addresses the crowd. Thank you, fans. No, please sit. Yes, Freebird. Yeah, I know, I got it. Thank you for this great honor. I promise you that I will become a Pokemon master and make the town of Pallet known all around the world. He poses triumphantly and spectators cheer again. Ash to Gary. Excuse me. Yes? I was just wondering if you could tell me what kind of Pokemon you've got. Gary puts his arm down and with one eye closed leans close to Ash, one arm at his hip, the other holding the Pokeball. None of your business! If you showed up on time, you would have seen that I got the best Pokemon. From Professor Oak, it's good to have a grandfather in the Pokemon business, isn't it? Nepotism! Also, obviously my Pokemon would be a Butterfree! The beautiful and dangerous seductive power of the Butterfree. I lost my place. Ugh, I'll show you. Oh wait, I skipped down. I'm so sorry. I skipped your part. The scene cuts to him and his cheerleaders in his car saying goodbye to the crowd like a boss.
Let's go, Gary. Let's go.
Thank you for coming to see history in the making, loser. Now I, Gary Oak, am off to learn the ways of the Pokemon trainer. Hit it, 21. And he drives off. Ash is left alone behind everyone, clenches his fists, and he grits his teeth. Shatner style, so even more overdramatic. Ugh, I'll show you. And scene. So, thank you so much. Everyone give him a round of applause. Yay! You were a great preteen girl. Oh, yeah. Yep. Don't ever let anyone ever tell you different. This is Nick here at Animini. I'm sick and tired of trying to say Animinneapolis, and I've been messing it up too much, so it's just going to be Animini from now on, guys. But I am here with...
Cartoons by Andy, or Andy Scott.
Andy Scott. Andy, I wanted to talk to you because I absolutely love your buttons. I love them. Here, I'm going to get a little close to you. I absolutely love them. I know your eyes are up here, but I can't stop staring at your buttons. They're so cute. Would you like to explain a little bit about the style of your buttons? Because I can't even describe them. They're like a laminate on the outside, so they even the art is so it's even escaping the confines of said button.
Yeah, that's true. I had an idea where I just wanted to make a little bit more of a more unique design. So I thought it'd be cool to have, if I had like a Pokemon, it would have like ears on it, and or I have a dragon that has wings on the back that are all glued on. And like you said, it's laminate. It's just printed out, laminated, and then glued on. And they're really fun to make. They're a little tedious. There's a lot of steps involved. But
I see.
Yeah, people seem to like them.
I would say it's very much worth it. You got the really cool stuff like My Hero Academia I saw on there. I think I saw a couple Pokemon every once in a while. Like, did I see some Pokemon there?
There's a ton.
Yeah. But you also do see live commissions I see you offer. So how's that involved? Like, do you just do it right in front of them? Like, how long does it usually take?
It usually takes anywhere. It depends on what they want. Usually, it takes anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour if they want something like really elaborate. That was just an idea where I thought a lot of people at these conventions do live commissions, but I never see any of like the traditional like caricature stand things at these conventions. So I thought that would be a cool thing to bring to an anime convention, and people seem to dig it.
That is cute. Like, what are some of the ones you've been working on this weekend?
Oh gosh. The other thing about working anime conventions is people come up with all sorts of crazy ideas for me to draw.
I wait with bated breath.
You know the Game Grumps?
I do.
Okay. Someone wanted me to draw Dan and Aaron as Elizabeth and Alexander Hamilton.
Okay.
So I had like Aaron like kissing Danny's hand and put like a Game Grumps quote in fancy cursive above it, and it turned out really cute.
How very specific and yet adorable. That's great.
Yeah.
What would you say is your weirdest one that you've done, like strangest or coolest one you've done at any convention?
At any convention, I actually have it printed out under a sign that says I can draw anything. Because it's Light Yagami from Death Note, the Xenomorph from Alien, and a guy's original character on a couch eating chips, which was the specific commission request that I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how those things are related, like, at all.
I don't know either. I can't even imagine, but the fact that I got paid to draw it makes me love my job.
That is amazing. I can't even think of, like, so obviously you are an island, you can't really move around and see much of the cool stuff the convention has to offer, but is anything cool past your site here, any cool cosplays or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've seen so many great cosplays. I saw an Optimus Prime with a full Optimus Prime made out of cardboard boxes. There's a guy walking around dressed as the Phantom of the Opera, and he has the theme music playing, so wherever he goes, so you just hear like an instrumental Phantom of the Opera song playing.
See, I always hear that guy, but I never see him.
I know.
He's like, for whatever reason, he just doesn't want me to look at him.
He's a phantom. He's hiding from you.
So in character, that guy.
Yeah. There's also a really, really good All Might from My Hero Academia who has like the full face makeup. Their hair is like sticking straight up. They have like a muscle shirt under like a t-shirt. They're super, super cool. I've seen them walk by a couple of times. They're really awesome.
I mean, it's almost perfect except for that person still has eyes. So I don't quite believe it. I mean, if he was really dedicated, he'd pluck those out of there. But, that's, maybe he doesn't want to take it to the extreme. But thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me, Andy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Would you like to give people some place they can look at your art, or like you have a website or social media or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I post daily drawings on Instagram and Twitter under Cartoons by Andy. If I'm at a convention, you can kind of see what I'm drawing. The Game Grumps one that I did is on there. I posted that yesterday. I also have a Etsy store, again, Cartoons by Andy, and I don't really use it anymore, but I also have an old DeviantArt page called Comics by Andy because I accidentally forgot what the name of my company is. So
okay. That's,
that was when I was first starting out.
Some people forget what their keys are.
Yeah.
Some people, they can't quite remember what their home address is. You just forgot a whole company. That's fine.
It's fine.
I don't think it's fine. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Have a great day and a great rest of your con.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so our next scene here is Professor Oak and Ash and him receiving Pikachu. So would anyone like to volunteer and come up and read a part, maybe Pikachu? Pikachu's not that hard. You can come up. We can have repeat volunteers. Yes? What's your name? Damon. Nice to meet you, Damon. Just scooch right up on here. You're a natural already. I like your warm up. Okay. So this one is going to really stretch you, Damon. So when you get to Pikachu here, the line that reads Pikachu, and then that says afterwards Pikachu in quotation marks, that's your line. You got it? Okay, so it's Professor Oak and Ash in this scene. Who would we like to hear for Ash and or Professor Oak? Do we have suggestions? What's that? The Terminator, or I assume you mean Schwarzenegger up there, as Ash or Professor Oak? Professor Oak? Okay, good choice. And I need someone for Ash. Carl Weezer? Okay, we'll do that. All right. Ash comes up to Oak's office for a Pokemon. And here is Professor Oak. So, you finally decided to show up after all.
Professor Oak, where's my Pokemon?
Your Pokemon?
Yes, I'm ready.
You're ready for bed, not for Pokemon training. I hope you don't think you're going to train in your pajamas.
Oh no, Professor, I got messed up this morning, and I was a little late, but believe me, I'm ready for a Pokemon, and I thought about it, and it took me a long time, but I finally decided to choose Squirtle. Yeah! Oh no!
It's already taken by someone who is on time.
Oh, I wish I hadn't overslept. But now I would choose as my Pokemon Bulbasaur.
What?
Wait, what?
That was taken by a kid who wasn't late.
Oh, well, that's no problem, because my Pokemon will be Charmander. Oh, come on!
The early bird gets the worm, or in this case, the Pokemon.
Do you mean all the Pokemon are gone?
Yeah, I guess I kind of could just have left with that. But I'm a jerk that way, Professor Oak. Well, there's still one left, but he's a little weird.
I'll take it.
I think I should warn you. There's a problem with this last one.
I have to have a Pokemon. I just gotta.
Well, in that case...
Pikachu.
Oh my god, it's like the voice of an angel. Everyone give a round of applause for that. Yes! Damon! Good lord. I mean, I'm embarrassed to even continue now. Its name is Pikachu, if that wasn't obvious already.
Oh, it's so cute! The best of all!
Yeah, whatever, you'll see.
Oh, hi, Pikachu.
Pikachu then shocks Ash. It's also known as the electric mouse. It's usually shy, but can sometimes have an electrifying personality. You see what I did there? With electrifying and personality, it's a pun. I was also Mr. Freeze. Have an ice day. Pikachu then shocks them both.
Oh, thank you!
You're welcome! And scene. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Aben. That was amazing. Everyone give him a round of applause one more time. Yes. This is Nick with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. I'm here still at Animinneapolis. I am having such a fun time because I get to meet such lovely people such as...
my name's Chance Wyatt.
Chance? So I can't imagine anyone has made a joke about your name being Chance at all.
They have.
They have? Okay, I'm gonna, you know what? I'll avoid taking a crack at it. I won't take a chance on it. Damn it! No, we'll cut it off. We'll restart again. Hi, Chance. I not only love your name, I love your art at your booth here. It's really fantastic. Do you have the name for the booth specifically?
Just Chance Wyatt Picture Books. I thought it'd be general enough to cover anything I do.
Don't confuse people. I like it. I like it, Chance. So what struck me about your art prints, I was taking a look at, is most, when I see conventions, I see a lot of pin-ups, close-ups. Maybe every once in a while I'll get a scene. But almost all of your stuff is this very intricate kind of there's a lot of like backstory in the image almost too. Like there's a lot going on in the image. I saw a Batman in Crime Alley after dealing with like 20 of Joker thugs. I saw like a Predator one where he's sort of invisible except for the blood dripping over his body with a bunch of arms. Like it's like your pictures are very dynamic, and I was very interested in that. What made you choose to go this way with your art style and your process?
Well, not to sound too pretentious, but
sure.
It's sort of a philosophical perspective, really. I think that in art, both in my writing and in prints, that focusing on the individual is overdone, I guess. I like the idea of the sort of like the old Japanese art where you'd see the big waterfall and a bunch of trees and things, and then in the corner there'd be like a little tiny person walking their dog or something like that. I like it when the environment is big and that's the focus, and the characters are small. In Western art, you see a lot of, especially older stuff, just big, king sitting on a throne. The background is just kind of seen as throwaway. I mean, the background is synonymous with forgettable. It's a background player. It's an unimportant thing. Whereas I think the background, the environment, the setting should be the star.
Yeah, I don't think that's not pretentious at all. For those listening at home, he is sipping tea with his pinky up, though. I just thought we'd paint the correct image. But I would say that some of your characters in the piece actually get lost in the background, and normally that would be an insult. But I actually think it's really cool, especially since it takes me a half second to even see, like, say, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like, I almost walked halfway across your booth, but I was like, oh, that's the Stay Puft in the background there. That's so cool, and I just like that feeling of like not quite getting it at first, but then slowly coming around to it. I also feel like seeing some of those pictures, that reminds me of some great stuff in like comics when I read when they don't have dialogue bubbles, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. They're just eating pizza in the sewer, but the way they're sitting, it makes it feel like they're, I don't know, they just got done with a battle or like some sort of thing was going on there. Do you have like an idea in some of your pictures of like what just happened or what's about to happen for like a story kind of thing?
Yeah. I typically try to do a lot of research and then come up with something that either we haven't seen or we suspect must have happened, or some sort of story. So you can explain. You can take somebody up to your piece of your poster on your wall and then tell them some little paragraph about what's happening there, or put it together yourself. Because I do comic books, I have to work on storytelling through image.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, because you also have your comic books here too, which it's also called the Moving Bodies.
Yep, I've got one called Moving Bodies and another one called Census, which is a graphic novel. Those are both self-contained stories.
Okay.
And what I'm doing at this show right now is trying to promote the last volume of my first ever series. A mini-series. It's 3 issues long. It's called Planetarium. And it's currently in a Kickstarter campaign. It might be over by the time this podcast goes up. Okay. But yeah, they've been successful, and it's just the last week of it, so I've been trying to push that down people's throats.
Cool. I really like it. Of course, it has your visual art style about it. That's really intriguing. What's the story about in some of them here? If you could give a brief description.
Well, Planetarium is a science fiction story. All my stories are sci-fi, and they're all the emphasis is on the science part of the science fiction. And similar to my art prints, the focus is usually more on the world than the characters. Science fiction for me is I want to focus on the ideas and have the characters be secondary rather than to have a character drama set in a science fiction background. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sort of. I'm going to pretend yes, so I seem smart.
Yeah,
but...
you seem brilliant. Okay.
Thank you.
So in Planetarium, it's a post-human story. So it's set on Earth, but in the distant enough future that we've lost the world to the machines, to our machines. So think of it like The Matrix or Terminator or something like that.
Sure.
Except that whereas in those movies everything is kind of gray and there's human skulls everywhere and things look terrible. In Planetarium, the machines are doing a better job as stewards of the planet than we ever have, and the environment is good.
So it's all green and lush. And,
They're taking care of the environment. They're taking care of the animals. They love the animals. Instead of like we usually see in those kind of stories where the machines are often humanoid, these machines have taken on the forms of the animals and started living amongst them. They call themselves shepherds.
Wow, that does sound interesting. I've never heard of a premise quite like that.
Good.
I mean, hey, good. Otherwise, I'd have to kill that guy.
The basic pitch is that one of these machines becomes fascinated with human history, and in the eyes of these machines, humanity were a major extinction event, which we have been. So one of their few laws is that humanity must be forgotten. So it's kind of a conflict between the machines that want to suppress the knowledge of those that made them, and this one machine who's become obsessed with humanity.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. If the Kickstarter is still open when I get home, I'm donating. I'm going for it. I want to see this thing finished already, and I haven't even started it yet. So that's how good it must be.
I'll give you the first copy.
I much appreciate you get me hooked. You pulling a drug dealer move on me? I see the first one's free. I see what you're doing, Chance. I see it. Okay. I did want to ask you for this convention in particular. Obviously, you've probably done conventions beforehand, I'm assuming. Yeah. What's been moving the most at this convention, do you find? Like anything that's super popular?
Well, I just did a Dragon Ball, for instance. I wasn't sure if that would be exciting to people, but because there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
But I decided to do one of those old, like Goku as a little kid, big fat dinosaurs running around.
Sure. Well, that one's got the most cool, like, creature designs of just stuff, like, in the background, so that actually sounds like it would go right with you, with your art style.
Yes, I like fat dinosaurs.
You very much like fat dinosaurs. I think that's the perfect place to end this interview, is that our mutual love of fat dinosaurs. That show, Dinosaurs, my jam. I love it. I love the dad, love the fat dinosaur look. But thank you so much, Chance, for taking time to interview me and indulging me with my ridiculous questions.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Would you like to tell the people where they can go and find you, your Kickstarter campaign, your social media, all that good stuff?
ChanceWyatt.com. Everything is there.
Man, you are a simple man, and I love it. Just keeping things so... for me, for having to tag these up and find out that all later, I love that so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So I appreciate that, and you taking the time once again. Have a great day and a great rest of your con.
Thanks a lot.
See, we have a crowd outside. Who's in the crowd? Okay, we have Ash's mom again. Ash, Professor Oak for like one or two lines, and then Pikachu again. Anyone want to come up here and be Pikachu? Otherwise, sometimes it's fun to do Pikachu in either Walken or Shatner. I'll tell you what, yeah, Pikachu has a lot of lines. Oak only has like one or two. Does anyone want to be Oak? Yes? She's nudging you like very aggressively. It seems like she's volunteering you as tribute. So, someone, what's your name? Connor, you have been forcibly abducted for the panel. We allow that here. Yep. Loose panel. Connor, you'll be reading Professor Oak. Would you like to read it in a voice or just want to read it straight? Do you have an old man voice maybe? A Doc Brown? Marty!
I can do an old voice.
You can do an old voice? Okay, so... Oh, wait. I went way too far up. I'm so sorry. Where's the crowd? Okay, yeah. Okay, so a crowd of people are outside, led by Ash's mom, and Ash's mom's there. So I need someone for Ash's mom, and Ash, and Pikachu. Those are the parts we have left. So, who would you guys like to hear as Ash? To the left of Bane, that's Don Knotts.
Why are there so many ostriches? The brochure said there'd only be a few ostriches.
If anyone's seen that Family Guy joke. That's who that is. Some of these might be a little bit older, but I'm an old soul. What can I say? Yes. Oh, that's Meatball from, or Meatwad, I'm sorry, from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I'll never see my show. What's your name? Will? Screw you, Will. You watch. Not after I'm through with you, Will. That's pretty sexually aggressive. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's a good line. I'll give it up for that. Nice one, Will. Okay, so is that do we want Meadwad or Don Knotts for any of these? Meadwad for Professor Oak? Okay, we can do that. No, wait, he's being Professor Oak. That's right. I need Ash, Ash's mom, and Pikachu. Ash's mom is Meatwad. Got it. Great. Love it. I need Ash. Stallone is Ash. Great. Like it as well. Okay, Pikachu. Should I just... Obama? Okay. I think that one will be funny too. Okay, so we have all our parts. That's a lot of them. I'm probably going to forget. So you guys just remind me which one we're coming up here. Okay. So we have Ash's mom. I think your part is a little bit farther down here. We'll get to it. Yeah.
Yo, Mom, what are you doing here?
Ash, I'm so proud of you. You're finally going to fulfill your dream. And it's with your Pokemon training. But I'm going to miss you so much. Oh, my little boy.
Damn it.
I packed your sneakers and jeans, nice clean shirts and underwear, and your favorite snacks, and some hot chocolate in case you want something hot. But be careful not to burn yourself, and a pair of rubber gloves to do your laundry, and no clothesline, and a new clothesline to hang it out to dry.
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of all these people. I'm a big kid now. I'm a big boy. Pokemon trainers can take care of themselves.
I understand. That's your Pokemon?
Pikachu. A lot of hand in the Obama, like just the...
Yeah, that's my Pokemon right there. That's my boy.
P. Whoever suggested Obama as Pikachu, I thank you for your service.
With Pikachu at my side, rule the Pokemon in the world.
I thought our Pokemon stayed inside their Pokeballs. Why doesn't this one? Why isn't it being all uppity?
Oh yeah, that's right. Pikachu, get in the ball now.
Pikachu does not get in the ball. He keeps flipping it back to Ash, which his mom responds.
You're playing catch. You're friends already.
Sure. Pikachu and I are real pals, right?
Pikachu.
But it is a little weird.
Weird? Well, what do you mean weird?
And then Pikachu proceeds to shock the entire crowd, causing God knows how much neurological damage, because people should not be electrocuted this often, but whatever, it's a kid's show. And I have forgotten, we finally get to Oak. Here you go. Go for it.
Those rubber gloves your mom packed you will come in handy.
Oh man, it's my friend McGuckins, you're my longtime friend. I can't believe you're here. I love to see.
Man, that was a great voice. I love it. Here we go.
Why would the rubber gloves come in handy?
Rubber gloves block electricity.
Ash goes in pain.
Oh, great.
And then the electricity finally stops. That's right, they've been being electrocuted this entire time. Pikachu is indeed a monster.
Now, don't forget to change your underwear every single day.
Ash, also incredible pain.
Okay. God. Cut me, Mick.
And scene. There we go. Thank you so much. That was amazing. You sold the crap out of those two lines. Everyone give him a round of applause, please. Oh, that was amazing. Great.
The
just getting some last-minute interviews here at Animinnie. I am so tired, but you know what can revitalize me more than anything? Why? It's some great Legend of Korra cosplay, and I just came from a great panel hosted by these lovely ladies. Let's get some names.
I'm Ellie. I'm cosplaying Korra, and this is my brand. Yeah. I'm Soleil, and I'm cosplaying the Sami Sato. So. Yeah.
Okay, so that is great, and I just came from your panel. The title was something like Korra Sami and...
Women Loving Women Positivity.
Positivity. Okay,
Positivity,
cool.
Yeah.
That was very good, a very interesting panel. You said you run some other panels throughout the convention as well?
Yeah, we ran a Avatar Last Airbender panel, we ran a One Punch Man panel, and we ran a video games panel. And I was in another podcast, The Adventure Zone. I was in a panel for that, so it's been a lot of panels this weekend.
To hear about The Adventure Zone, I should really give them a shot. They're the D&D one?
Yeah, Goof Boys. It's pretty humorous, but it has some feels that come out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Well, how's your panel experiences been? What the crowd's been like, compared to other cons? I'm assuming you've had panels at other cons before.
Yeah, this was actually our second time. We went from running our first panel at Metacon last year to running 4, which is a big step.
Okay.
I jump into things and don't usually think things through.
Okay.
But it's been a really fun experience. Like we have a core group of people who have been in basically every single panel. And I think that's really key, is having people you're super comfortable with, because a lot of people find random people online that they don't know. Mm-hmm. But we really put a lot of effort into each panel. Our last one was it kind of got a little messy because we just had such a long weekend.
Sure.
But we usually plan out skits and just try to make our panels as professional and just interesting as possible.
It's funny you should mention that, because usually I have someone that is not a flake and is totally reliable during these shows. But today, this con, I've been all solo on this one. But luckily enough, I have chemistry with myself. I'm so electric in my personality, so that worked out great. Although I did have a weird thing, all my projections ended up yellow by the end of the panel, whatever panel I was running. Our projection screen always turned yellow. Did you guys have any tech issues like that?
Well, we didn't use any projectors because we usually just do mostly acting, and then we have usually trivia on a light box or phone, as we like to call it, and just use the microphones to make sure everyone can hear us.
So I wanted to ask you about your last panel, Women Loving Women and Positivity and stuff like that. So obviously we are in a time of the Me Too movement and everything with that going on. How do you feel about the current state of women in women relationships? And because I know that they have a hard time, considering there's the sexism with a dash of homophobia just on top.
Yeah.
So obviously they have it rougher. What do you feel the state of it in media being representation right now?
It's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to put one level on it all. So it really depends on the genre, and some have great representation, where others you still have the lesbians die at the end trope.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that. Yeah. It's
I've watched the 100. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
It turns out the lesbian's actually bisexual, and she goes, man, it's we always knew it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
there's
of that sexuality, but I'm just saying it's
men are awful. I don't understand. The penis is the most ugly organ I've ever seen. We spend our entire lives tricking you to think it's a desirable thing.
I don't know about that, but it's really hard, especially as someone who is attracted to women. It's really hard to find that good representation. But I think Legend of Korra is a good example of that representation, and that came out 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
anything currently that's a good representation?
Steven Universe.
Yeah.
There's some problematic parts, as everything nowadays feels like it has. But there's Black Lightning is a new show on the CW, and that's two interracial lesbians.
Thunder, I believe.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'm up on my CW shows. They're my secret guilty pleasure.
I mean, Deadpool 2, oh my gosh, what can I say 2? Deadpool 2 just had 2 lesbians in it, Supersonic Teenage Warhead and a new hero, and they and Negasonic Teenage Warhead literally says, "This is my girlfriend."
Mhm.
So that's pretty beautiful.
I think that's like it has to be the first time it's been an on-screen superhero
Yeah,
couple.
exactly.
It feels appropriate that it was the X-Men. So
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds pretty cool. So I wanted to ask you guys something about the things that have been going on recently, which is kind of like this retroactive representation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what's going on, like, with Dumbledore was always supposed to be gay, or, Lando Calrissian is now pansexual, but not really in the movie, but more we're going to say he is.
Yeah.
So, like, what are your thoughts on like, that? Because, I mean, me being a straight white male, I think it's kind of weird, and I don't know if I like it. So I wonder what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of, we're saying that these characters are like for the LGBTQ plus community just because we want to say like, oh, we're an ally, or hey, we're on your side, even though they may not necessarily be.
Kind of queer baiting.
It's a little bit queer baiting.
A little bit queer baiting, man.
I don't want to like attack any specific
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It's like saying like, oh, well, this character is actually like this sexuality or this gender, when there's no actual evidence in like the show or book or whatever, and then they're just saying that on like social media. I think it's a little, I don't want to say excessive or like unnecessary or just like irritating, but that's kind of a, that's fake.
It's fake. It's like, I think you just have to be genuine about it, Like, why? The real question is why. That's the big question you have to ask. Why would J.K. Rowling say, like, that Dumbledore is gay? What is her reason? Does she actually want to show that, like, she has diversity in her books? Or is she doing it for monetary reasons? Like, that's just the big question. And that's what we all have to do, because, like, I'm a white person, and if I don't understand something about, like, representation for people of color, then I have to ask myself, why would this person say that? Why is that happening? Why is that company saying that they're going to have an interracial couple when we still haven't seen that,
No, I totally agree. I just want to get backed up by people before I got like, what do you know about it? You can't even get offended by half of a group that you don't belong to.
You can get offended. You can. Yeah, you can.
I have permission.
You have permission to be offended because you care about other people. Again, so there's another point. Why are you fighting for social justice, right? It's because you care about other people, not because you want to be more enlightened. It's because you care. So you do have that right to be outraged because you care.
Great, because I just saw Solo, and I tell you what, I want to see Lando fuck everything. Everything I want to see him fuck. I want to see him fuck Han. I want to see him fuck Chewie. I want to see him fuck that robot. I want him to see, that's what I want. It's so freeing. Thank you so much. This is great. Wow. Obviously there's a bunch of other stuff you guys for do here. Did you guys see anything really cool? See any other cool panels or any other cool cosplay?
Oh, so many cool cosplays. We did not have any time to go to any other panels. We only got in the dealer's hall today on the last day.
Oh, really?
We've been so busy.
And we just looked around. We didn't even have time to like buy anything.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that is unfortunate, but sounds like it was a fun con for you guys.
We signed up for a lot.
I
think it was. I would say it was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. I loved being in our Avatar group because we have such good chemistry. I loved being Korra with Grey Asami because we have like good friendship and whatnot. So pretty fun.
Great. That's fantastic. Heartwarming even.
Yeah.
I hope you guys come back next year and see future panels, and we'll see you there. And hopefully you'll do better at trivia.
Today was a mess because, again, as a woman who's attracted to other
I was talking about our trivia.
Oh, yeah, that trivia.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to express
we were a mess today because it took so much courage.
I prepared trivia for all of our other panels except for this one.
Because this person is not a lady who likes other ladies. So, I was the only one out there who really was a lady who likes ladies, and so it was like a lot of like pressure on me. It was just a really big thing to like be open about my sexuality in front of people.
Well, Well, luckily you are the Avatar, and they're just going to have to deal with it. You knew where I was going before I got there.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. That's a great place to end it. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to interview with me. Would you guys like to mention any of your cosplay pages or social media and stuff like that?
Yeah. We're both on Instagram, and I'm at NAAANI bread.
So Nani bread.
Nani bread.
Okay.
Yeah, and my cosplay page on Instagram is eclectic.sun. So we'll plug there.
That is great. Thank you so much, and have a great day and a great rest of your con. Okay, so we got, let's see, about 10 minutes left in the panel. Let's rocket through the last scene here, but if we don't get finished, it's not a big deal. So it's basically a lot of Ash and Pikachu this time around, and then Pokedex. There's a Pokedex in here. Anyone want to come and read for Pidgey? Pidgey gets a couple lines in this. No? Yeah, come on up. Come on up, buddy. And then who do we want as Ash? Trump or Bane? Okay, raise the hands. Who wants Bane as Ash? 1, 2, and 3. We'll do Bane. Okay, we can throw Trump in there. Somebody else. Who should Trump be? I have the Pokedex or Pikachu. Pokedex. Okay, so Trump is the Pokedex, and then Pikachu should be who? Herbert from Family Guy. Okay. Again, there's a lot of lines, and I didn't forget last time, but I bet you'll forget this time. We'll see. Okay, so they are strolling along, and then when you see Pidgey, he's a little farther down, but I mean, I don't think you'll forget your part. So, all right, so, all right, cluster steps, Ash and Pikachu are walking, what's it gonna do? All right. That's right, I got it.
Pikachu, you're going to be like this the whole way. P. Is it because you don't like me? P. Well, I like you a lot. And since you're the Pokemon I'm training, don't think you could be a little nicer and just open up your mouth and tell me what's wrong? Oh, that's not exactly what I meant.
This dialogue is getting too sexual.
Is your name all you can say?
Pikachu.
Well, two can play at that game. Bane. Well, then you're just like all Pokemon. You'll just act like one and get inside the Pokeball, just like it says in the Pokedex.
While being trained, a Pokemon usually stays inside its Pokeball. I say usually, sometimes they stay at the lovely Mar-a-Lago because Pokemon love it there. It's great. We accept all types of Pokemon there, except for any ones from Mexico. You know the Mexican Pokemon I'm talking about. Some I assume are good Pokemon. Let's see. I lost my place again. Actually, we went up. Okay. Pokemon usually stay inside its Pokeball.
You see, I was correct.
Pikachu. And Pikachu hits another button on the Pokedex. The Pokedex comes back on. However, there are many exceptions. Some Pokemon hate being confined. Not unlike Melania, she loves staying in her room all day. And never coming out for some reason.
Okay, then. This ought to make things better. I'll take these off.
He takes off oh yeah, that's right. He has the leash on on Pikachu, and he's got the rubber gloves on. I forgot about that.
How's that?
Pikachu.
Still not good enough, eh?
Pika.
Oh, wait. Is that a Pidgey I see?
Oh, I guess Pidgey doesn't have a line. But anyway, go. Pidgey, go.
Pidgey.
Batman as Pidgey. I like it. Let's see. This is Pikachu. Pidgey. Pidgey is a flying Pokemon among all the flying Pokemon. It's the gentlest and easiest to capture, a perfect target for the beginning Pokemon trainer to test his Pokemon skills.
This is great. It's our lucky day, Pikachu. Go get it.
Chew.
Aren't you going to listen to me?
Chew.
All right. I pledge to get all the Pokemon in the world. Now I'm ready to take the next step to be the #1 Pokemon Master. Enjoy your last moments of freedom, Pidgey, 'cause you're mine. Pokeball, go!
It's a lot more violent when in a Bane voice. Kind of sounds messed up. He's about to enslave this poor Pidgey. But no, not really, because it breaks out.
Huh? What? Oh no! I blew it!
To capture a Pokemon, you usually have a Pokemon battle with the other.
Now he tells me, but I have to do everything myself. Wait, I got an idea. Okay, just be quiet. Be quiet. I'm being quiet. There's nothing to be afraid of. Hi, little friend. Sorry, buddy. What happened?
He tries to capture the Pidgey with his coat. It does not work. Pidgey uses Gust. Pidgey's Gust power creates tornadoes. It has a sand attack.
Oh God, no sand! My eyes! I can't see. Guess it's just not my lucky day.
He looks back. We see a Rattata rummaging in Ash's bag. Why don't you give us your bet, Rattata?
Rattata.
A very disinterested and or high Rattata.
Hey, get out of there! Get out of there, you varmint!
A forest Pokemon, Rattata, is like cheese, nuts, fruits, and berries.
Yes, but this isn't a forest, it's an open field.
It also comes out in open fields to steal food from stupid travelers. See, maybe you should let me finish a sentence once in a while, moron.
Oh, wait, but that means I'm stupid.
Ash then sees a silhouette. He thinks it's Pidgey.
Well, I'll get you this time.
He throws a rock.
I got it! I wonder what that is.
Unlike Pidgey, Spearow has a terrible attitude. It's very wild, and it will sometimes attack other Pokemon and humans without any provocation, and sometimes will investigate your completely innocent ties with Russia, and we'll put that behind us. Spearows are douches. They're terrible people, and we have to get rid of them. We have to figure out what's going on. A Spearow ban until we figure out what's going on, guys. The Spearows then attack Ash. The Spearow attacks Ash. It ends up ignoring him and going right for Pikachu. I think, what was Pikachu in this scene? That's right, Hubert.
P. Hey, leave Pikachu alone. It didn't throw the rock.
Wild Pokemon tend to be jealous of human-trained Pokemon.
Pikachu, no!
Pikachu then uses Thundershock to attack the Spearow and take it out of commission.
Oh, you've got it! Great shot!
Spearow then calls the rest of its flock.
Spearow!
Such a dangerous sounding Spearow.
Yeah. Oh no! Should we run?
Pikachu, pee!
I'll take that as a yes! Don't worry, Pikachu. No matter what, I'll save you. Don't run ahead. Oh no! I said I'd protect. Oh no! Spearows! No! Why? Oh God! It's like the end of Dark Knight Rises all over again.
They come across a waterfall. Here we go. And he jumps off the waterfall, in which he meets Misty, and that's where we'll end the scene. Thank you so much, guys. I believe that's all the time we have for the panel. I'm sorry, maybe we'll see Misty next time. This is Nick here at Animini still. That's right, they somehow have not found me and kicked me out yet, but I stick and move. I'm quick like that. And I'm here with a repeat offender for the podcast, Lewis, or as you probably better know him, Linkara. Say hi.
Hi.
That is the perfect amount of enthusiasm for this episode. I love it. Especially on a Sunday, later in the afternoon. That's the exact right level. How have you been, my friend, and how has your Animini experience been?
Oh, it's been just fine. I've been spending most of my time in the dealer's room selling stuff. T-shirts, DVDs, all that fun jazz. I finally have a history of Power Rangers-related merchandise. Probably should have had that a few years ago.
You do? What do you have?
I have a history of Power Rangers poster. That's probably the only thing I can get away with legally.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Saban would bitch slap you on that one. But
you'll notice the word Power Rangers does not appear anywhere on this.
I mean, I would assume. I might have to snag one of them from you with those because I really love that. That segment is probably my favorite one that you run. But you also did a live version for this panel of your regular show at Top of the Fourth Wall.
That is correct. I did a Top of the Fourth Wall live. I did One Punch Man.
One Punch Man?
First two chapters.
That's great. I imagine you couldn't find anything to riff on that show. Nothing weird about it at all.
Nothing at all. It is the most bland, completely vanilla type of show. Nothing unusual at all about it. In fact, I'm still surprised people seem to like it because what is there to find weird about the Crab Man or the creature from the Earth who is upset about Saitama doing this for fun versus anything else?
Man, I did forget that show starts with him like murderizing that crab out of nowhere. That's so weird. But yeah, that's great. So how did that panel assume went pretty well?
Yeah, pretty well. People seem to like it.
Mm-hmm. Did you run any other panels this weekend?
No. I tend to just do the live show and maybe a Q&A type of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So kind of low key for you.
Yeah.
Any other special interactions with fans or any other cool cosplays or anything that you saw?
It's always just fun to you always think that you'll remember them. This is why people take pictures of it because I'm completely drawing a blank except for maybe like 3 Bob Rosses running around.
Oh yes. Man, Deadpool did a lot for Bob Ross's popularity or whatever. That's really great. So they have the easels and like everything, or
some of them did. Some of them had one person had had their girlfriend or someone like them acting as the painting, and she like had like a whole painting thing that she like stuck her head out of.
Oh wow! I really wish I had seen that. Now I didn't see any Bob Rosses on this trip. What the hell? So I hear that you have left Channel Awesome.
Yep, that was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing. So if you wouldn't mind, I've been looking online because obviously it was a big story when it happened, and there's like a bunch of different perspectives on it. I still can't quite get it straight of like what's going on or what. Could you maybe give your perspective of it since you did work for them at a certain point?
Okay, so here's what basically happened. It started off with someone asking a question of Obscurus Lupa related to a Doug video. Thing is, after Lupa left the site, there was understandably bad blood between things, and so she made like a joking response, and that also referenced a problem I had with Channel Awesome once, and I kind of responded with just like a gif of tea drinking and just some fun stuff with that, and other people who were either former or current contributors kind of started adding into it.
Oh no.
And adding their own tea gifs and talking about remember the time this happened kind of thing.
So and it's kind of like a snowball effect sort of.
Yeah, and it lasted for 2 days straight as people started asking us questions because many people didn't know about a lot of this stuff, even though we've been public about a lot of this stuff and a lot of the problems we've had over time. It's just people come in, they don't pay attention to other social media, etc., etc. And after 2 days straight of doing this, we started repeating a lot of the same answers we've been giving because the thread, you couldn't follow it anymore. It was just too long, and there have been too many branches off of everything. As a result, a bunch of us got together and decided, hey, why don't we put together a Google Doc of all of our grievances, and anyone who's a current or former contributor can put themselves into it. You'll write out their stuff, and that way, if people ask about it, we can just direct them to that. And looking at this and thinking about it and realizing my place among things and how originally I had actually been so upset about what happened with Lupa that I had wanted to leave back then, but there was also shortly after we had a bunch of new contributors added onto the site, and it felt like kind of a jerky move if I was to leave. Hey, all the people you wanted to work with and be a part of the site, they're all gone now.
Sure. So kind of like a loyalty thing.
Yeah, so I wanted to say for their sake, because I was convinced, hey, they've listened to me before in the past. I should be able to convince them that, here's some general suggestions to improve. I was wrong. It was if you read my part of the Google Doc, it's this repeated problem with especially Mike Michaud in particular of not listening to people's complaints and grievances, or basically their response is, it's our site, we'll do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, from what I read of it, from what I made sense of, my takeaway was that, man, these guys are not good at communicating with any of the people that they work with, because that seemed to be, there was a bunch of grievances all up and down, but it seemed like no one had a good communication style with the upper management.
Communication has always been the number one problem with them. Sure. It is kind of astounding how bad they were at it. And they tried several things, and there were some cases where I understood why they did some of the things they did. Having a big Skype group chat as your primary form of communication is not the best. But on the other hand, I've tried to email tons and tons of people before and have it never arrive when it's supposed to. So I can understand stuff like that, but it feels like they could have taken a lot more extra steps to make sure that people got the message, because we'd given them our social media and contact info multiple times, partially because they had told us years and years ago, hey, we're going to list this stuff on the website as part of a drop-down menu for individual producers so people can find you. They never did that.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the thing was it just had to all be in this one document or something, because even I followed the site for a long time, and I guess a lot of these ones are like, oh, I did hear about that. Oh, I did hear about that too. And I guess I just never really thought about it or put it all together. And seeing them all together made me think, oh, these aren't isolated incidents. It's kind of a systemic problem. So that obviously had the fallout that it had. Do you have any relationship with any of the upper management at Channel Awesome anymore, or is that pretty much all cut off?
Not really, no, unfortunately. I sent a message to Doug when I quit, indicating that I had no ill will towards him or Rob or anyone else on the Nostalgia Critic production.
Sure.
But I never got a response back to it, because, of course, at the time, the Google Doc itself hadn't come out yet. Okay. I didn't realize that there was going to be as much snowballing. The only people that we knew were going to leave was Todd, SF Debris, Chuck Sonnenberg, who left because he had asked me, hey, what's going on with this? Is this something I should be worried about? I told him our plans. Swade and I decided to leave together. Originally, I had actually thought I might stick around until the 10th anniversary movie was going to get posted, because I wanted to, I didn't want to disrupt anything about that, because I wanted the contributors who were going to be there, hey, I knew that I wasn't going to be a part of it. They said they were interested in having me, but I said, give it to someone who hadn't had a chance to do it yet. I was thinking, hey, I would leave around then, after that way I won't get in the way of that. But then people kept leaving, and they were expecting a better response from upper management, and then their responses were not great.
Sure. Well, I'm so sorry that happened. It's not really. I want to say it's not anyone's fault, but it sounds like it's particularly some people's fault.
Oh Lord, yes, it is most certainly Mike Michaud's fault at the very least.
It's interesting. A guy that most of us don't even know his face has been such a sore spot in a huge community. Has hosted a lot of people that me and a lot of people have watched over the years, and he's been kind of like I'll say that he's been like this emperor in the background this whole entire time, like trying to get the Death Star fully operational. I don't know what that guy's up to.
At least the Emperor in Star Wars did things. Most of us still don't know what the hell Mike does for the company.
But anyway, I'm glad to see you still up and around, still going to conventions. I love to see you everywhere. You always host some great panels and great stuff. You're always really friendly at the booth. What are some of your next cons that are coming up that people can see you at?
I'm going to be at Anime Midwest in Chicago in early July. I'm going to Too Many Games in Jersey or Pennsylvania. I can never remember which. At the end of June, I will be going to Con Bravo again. And most especially, I will be at Power Morphicon this August, the official Power Rangers convention.
Woohoo! Power Morphicon, I love it. All right, and you said you had your 500th episode recently, and man, that's fantastic. Do you ever just sit back and just think of 500 episodes. How did I put that many out? Like, what's this far down the line? What's your like feeling towards the whole creation aspects?
Mostly sleep is for the weak.
Sleep is for sleep. You mean that totally inefficient substitute for caffeine?
Exactly. Really, honestly, my only real disappointment with the 500th episode is that I budgeted a lot of time to work on it with the expectation I will be devoting so much, days and weeks and whatnot to getting this done. And then I got sick.
Oh no.
I got sick, and it would not go away. My throat would not clear to the point where you can actually hear it in my voice during the recording, because eventually it got to the point where I've got to record something if I'm going to ever get back on track with this stuff.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like running an audio podcast at any point, my whole entire thing is just like, oh God, not strep throat or anything like that. I'll take anything, take my arms, not my voice. A lot of algae mixed drinks or whatever it is that tastes gross but so soothing.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't actually in pain.
No. You didn't have a voice.
I just didn't have a voice. My throat would not clear. I could feel it in the back of my throat. If I could just clear it, get the phlegm out, I would be fine, but it didn't. And this lasted for a full freaking week. I used up all the allotted time, and then some, a few days afterwards. I mean, I ended up releasing the episode over the course of a week, just because I had to record in chunks.
Nice. Well, at least you got it out. Like, you did your due diligence, and you powered through, and that's what I always respect about you and your perseverance. And also, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me.
No problem. Thank you.
Always a pleasure doing it. Would you like to mention, of course, where people can find you, your social media, any of that good stuff?
You can find me on atopthefourthwall.com, as well as searching on YouTube for Atop the Fourth Wall or Linkara. And yeah, social media on Twitter at Linkara19, and that's pretty much the only important one. Maybe atopfourthwall.tumblr.com.
Sounds great. Thank you once again, and have a great day and a great rest of your con.
No problem. Thank you again, sir.
True, and I covered the bullets through. You teach me, and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em.
And welcome back to our regular episode. Thank you guys again so much for doing any of those interviews with me. That was great. Thank you so much for Animinneapolis for having us for our panels. Even though they didn't go so great, but we enjoy coming to any convention. It's always a great time, the energy and all that good stuff. I'm excited for Convergence coming up, as well as Anime Austin will be coming around pretty soon as well,
and KatsunaCon.
Where it's going to be a busy July for us, but we are ready and willing and able, and just...
Well, we have June in between that, so...
well, yeah, I don't think we have anything for June.
Right,
like, June's a dead time.
We have a break.
So we're gonna recharge our batteries and be back with some convention coverage. But by no means does that mean you have to stop listening to the podcast. We'll be back with, other episodes, including other geeky type coverage, as well as our Netflix and Kill show. We're gonna bring on a bunch of guests and stuff. We're gonna have a fishy time with that show for a little bit for our next couple episodes. We have some deep sea dweller killers, I guess, if you want to call them, for that coming up. I also again want to just mention, hey, if you guys like the show and you want to help us out in any way, you can do so for free by just giving us a review on iTunes. It helps us out with visibility, and just give us a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll read whatever goes on that in that description box on the air, word for word. Again, you can, if you want to help us out monetarily, go check out our Patreon page for the different levels you can subscribe there and some of the different rewards you can get. Or you can always just follow us on our Facebook or social medias at Unapologetic Geek Out or at UGO Podcast for our Twitter and Instagram. Check out some of our con pictures there on Instagram. Some great stuff there. We met a lot of lovely cosplayers the last couple of conventions with some really cool looking stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for today for you guys. Again, thank you so much, and we will see you at the next convention. We are Unapologetic Geek Out, and we're out.